Got a question. Ever felt like your thoughts get tangled up? Like they make sense in your head but not out loud? Welcome to Leave It to Larimore, the space where we slow down, speak up, and sort it all out. No experts, no script, just real talk, real people, and a real understanding. I'm your host, Bryant Larimore, and together, we're untangling life, one conversation at a time. Let's talk about it.
So I would like to really take time out to kind of sit back and have kind of somewhat of a self-discussion. Something that involves me and, maybe some of you, actually where you are at the moment, where you have so many expectations and so many grave places that you're dying to really get to and things that you want to see in life. And you really have to take a somewhat of a personal inventory and evaluation to see what areas in your life have you put that effort in to get to that place. What really have you done to make sure that the best effort has been put in on your part? Have we really been true to ourselves enough to really claim that we've given a valid effort to see the outcome in life that we feel like we deserve? So many times we tell ourselves that, man, we deserve the most, we deserve the best, that, we're striving to get to that place where we feel like, we can finally say that we have arrived, but are we really putting the work in? Are we really holding ourselves accountable to stay true and stay dedicated, to make a pinky swear to yourself that, these are some of the aspirations that you want to achieve, and these are the methods that you're going to use to try to accomplish them. And above all, this is the promise to yourself that you're going to see it through. How often do you take time out to, give yourself your checklist, your 3-month evaluation, if you will, to see how close you are to the things that you say that you're going to accomplish? This time of the year, it is so common for us to start preparing to set goals. And we prepare to approach these nuances in our life. And I don't think that, we should have to wait. I mean, at the moment the thought comes, one thing I realize is your body will trick you into thinking that it will one day tell you it's ready. That it will naturally want to defy gravity. That your body will want to get up and fight against the fear and the force of moving forward. But I know that it took a long time for me to get it. But I know that if you keep your best foot forward, and if you keep moving, and if you set a goal and stick to it, that there is no end to what you can accomplish. And for some, it seems easier than others. But all of us have our road to plow. All of us have our moves that we have to strategically put in place, because the hand that we were dealt may not be better, and it may not be worse than the next hand that someone else was dealt, but it's definitely different, because the components in your life operate different. So that's why it's very difficult for you to put yourself next to someone else to determine whether or not you're in the right place and moving at the right speed, and if you are where you're supposed to be in accordance to where someone else is. Take that self-evaluation and make sure that you're on target to be where you want to be and doing the things that you want to do to accomplish the goals that you have for yourself. Not to negate any aspirations that other people have for you, because that also can be fuel. But if first you don't set a goal for yourself, then it is not wise to think that the goal for someone else will be easily accomplished. For we know that charity definitely starts at home and then spreads abroad. We have to start within ourselves before we can make ourselves in a place to where we can be beneficial to other people. We definitely have to take the time out to really consider, what we want to see and where we want to be in life, and are we really making the necessary steps to get there? Are we putting ourselves in position? Are we really taking that inventory? Are we doing daily checklists? Are we operating our body as if it's a business? Are we taking account what goes in and what goes out? Are we looking at our profit margin within ourselves? Are we becoming an asset, or are we continuing to be a liability? What place are you putting yourself in your life? And this is not to promote selfishness, but it is to promote self-care, and to know that if you are not well for you, you cannot be well for anybody else. And you walking in the best form and the best image of yourself is the best benefit that you can be to any other person, because it is through your authenticity that you can really be true motivation to someone else. But if you operate in that place of always trying to find you because you put you behind everybody else, and it's going to make it very difficult for that to be a reality. So we really have to take the time out to do the self-evaluation, to make sure that we're focused in the area that is promoting not only self-love, but self-motivation, self-movement, not relying and waiting on anyone else, nor comparing our movements to someone else. For our timing is not someone else's timing, but it is appointed unto every man a time and a season. So my time and my season may be now, while someone else's was several years ago. But it is important to realize that we are in the place where we are, not for the moment that we're there. The moment that we're in the place is really the moment that sets us up for our future. Because the stuff that we go through typically is not even for us. We're allowed it to have certain sufferings and certain situations that arrive so that we can now be a benefit for somebody else. But you got to see it from that perspective. If not, you'll put yourself in position to where you'll feel targeted and you'll feel ganged upon by life and circumstances, not realizing that you are really the best man for the job, the best woman for the job, the best person for the job. Take yourself serious. Take the time out to consider what you have invested in yourself. Now, some of that reflection may come up with several other questions. However, today is always a good day to make a turn to go a right direction. You always want to keep yourself motivated. Keep yourself driven. Because it's good to have people, it's good to have friends, it's good to have a team, but it's more important to have yourself to know that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. There's nothing that is too difficult for you. And for sure, we understand that many hands make a light load. And we would really like to see the load spreaded, not only for the benefit of a light load, but for the benefit of everybody involved. Although we realize that if we have not done the self-evaluation, if we have not taken in consideration what we've invested in us, then it will be difficult to have someone else to put a value on you that you're going to be comfortable with. So yeah, take the time out to really consider what you have and where you are and what you want to see. And then line those things up to what you're doing to get there. For I've come to this realization that what we say is the tree, but what we do is the fruit. We want to make sure that what we're saying and what we're doing is lining up, because you can only judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. So you do not want to become an inconsistent self-factor where you call yourself an apple tree who bears oranges. So life can be extremely difficult and it can get hard. And if your expectation is to always have someone to pull you from that place, then you may come up a little short. But if you learn that we have our spiritual Father who never leaves us nor forsakes us, and always puts us in a place, in a position to where we can become self-reflective, because we want to do unto others as we want them to do unto us, not necessarily what they've done to us. So we just got to change how we see things and how we view life, and what we have as far as an expectation. Maybe we have not given ourselves the credit that's due. That's also necessary for that self-evaluation. That's also necessary for you to stop and think and hold yourself accountable, because you may need to give yourself a break. You may need to give yourself a congratulatory moment. Sometimes you get so busy and we get so committed and we get so driven that we forget to give ourselves the appreciation for staying dedicated and for staying driven, and to take a moment out to pat yourself on the back, to tell yourself how good of a job that you've done, and celebrate small victories. You don't have to wait until it is the Nobel Peace Prize. Even if it's something as small as, man, I made it all week on time to work. I made it all week and I did not go off on anybody. But for whatever that moment is, take time and give yourself that opportunity to reset and reflect, because you never know what situation or circumstance or moment that you're actually missing to appreciate. For life will be life. Life will definitely be life. But if you don't enjoy the journey, you'll miss the life. And so take time out to really take in the journey. And the best way to do so is to stop and take reflective moments to see where you are, to evaluate where you want to be, to take inventory of what you put in, the investment that you've made in yourself. Is your charity doing more work outside the house than it is in the house? For if I give all that I have, I could be the person in need. But I always want to give myself enough so that I have enough to give someone else. These are just some of the reflections from Leave It to Larimore. Due circumstance and through situations, you never know you know, how life can spin that will give you just the right experience that will be the level of encouragement that someone else's needs. For sure, for what someone else may need. So yeah, just a reflective moment to take in and just to see, you know, are we really taking inventory to give ourselves the true accountability that's necessary for our progression? We want to move forward, and we're doing better, and we don't have to wait. We can start today. Sounds good. Let's talk about it.
Hey, appreciate you for tapping in with Leave It to Larry Moore. This is where thoughts get untangled and understanding gets built. Remember, you don't need a title to have a voice, and you don't need all the answers to start the conversation. If something from today's episode made you think, hit that follow button, share it with somebody, and keep the convo going. I'm Brian Larimore, and until next time, keep thinking and keep talking and keep growing. This is Leave It to Larry Moore.